Ah, hell. I'm in the wrong game again.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Queen Game and Stuffy Mounts, what are the Gaming Dragon? Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Violet Memoir, Lucas's Path. So y'all, we are running the latest update, and this focuses more on Lucas, and it's got more of his story, and apparently a new CG, so let's go ahead and jump in, shall we? Alarm Chan, you were up, and let's go! Alright. Lucas shifts in his chair, and it's clear that he's still not comfortable talking about the details of his relationship with Kostia. Thankfully, Lee also seems to notice and steps in before I can. What'd you find out from him? For a second, I thought he was asking Lucas before I realized that he's actually asking me in an attempt to shift the focus away from Lucas. I'm glad he helped, but now I feel like a deer in the headlights. Oh, well, a lot of things. Let me just try and collect my thoughts. Oh, this is gonna be good. I didn't know you two were little detectives. You're like Sherlock and the other one if they were two cuties. Do you mean Watson? Is that the partner? The other detective? Side detective? Actually, what are those called? I was about to give him an answer before I realized that I also don't know what the name for them is, and it doesn't look like Lee and Lily are sure either. This seems to flabbergast Lucas, as he seems genuinely shocked at our lack of knowledge, and I can't help but feel like he has a bit of a point. Maybe I should know a bit more about such an iconic figure. Watson is Sherlock's sidekick. He isn't even a detective. He's just a friend of Sherlock. Do any of you read? I mean, what do you consider reading? There's no alternate definition for reading. I don't know. I think I've read a couple of fun things, but I don't think you consider them up to grubby standard. I don't count reading a school textbook either. Why not? Non-fiction novels might not be my preferred genre, but that doesn't make them less important. Guys? I think you're getting a little off track. Wallace, you were saying? Right. Sorry, I just gotta remember where I was. Oh, I hadn't started yet, my bad. Kostya was a friend of Helen and they'd study together a lot. This music's so loud. Nope. There we go. Alright. They'd study together a lot. She'd bring her friends with them to study a lot, but things changed a little bit before the incident. What happened? Helena stopped coming with her friends, and she seemed to be in a worse mood than normal, and then she disappeared. He wasn't able to get why, but he thinks it has something to do with her parents. What happened with her parents? He wasn't sure. She wouldn't tell him anything, but he thinks they might have been dealing with a divorce. Things seemed pretty bad from what he told us. So her parents' divorce messed her up, and then some stuff happened with her friends, and she freaks out and kills everyone? That's what we think happened? Constantine is adamant that she didn't do it. You weren't too generous to her before. What changed your mind? Constantine is a good person and knows people better than I do. And Wallace doesn't think it was her either. I'll trust their judgment. Despite the clinical way he's talking about it, there's a warmness in his voice that brings a smile to my face. He meets my eyes for a second before shifting them away, but the redness covering his features makes his feelings clear. So he thinks she isn't the killer anymore? Do we even know what happened? Like, I remember reading she did it, but I'll be honest, guys, I didn't really look into it at the time. I had better things to do. Like partying and going to the gym? Hell yeah, what's wrong with that? We're supposed to be in college, not playing detective. Even this is a little out of our assignment guidelines. Not that I mind, but I thought someone should point it out. Man, if you go out looking for clues again, remember to bring me along next time. I'd have been there in a second if we were interviewing suspects. They aren't suspects. People of interest, that's what they call them, right? Anyway, I might know a bit more about what happened. Kostia took me to where it happened this morning. It stunned everyone, and they stare at me with wide eyes, like they all just saw me say the most insane thing in the world. Lucas looks almost angry, though I have a feeling it isn't with me. That's where he took you? Whoa, even I avoided going there. Shit's scary, man. What'd you find? I filled them in on everything Kostia told me about the incident from what the eyewitnesses said to all the little things that didn't make sense. That explains why they added all the cameras. I didn't really notice until I had to meet up with someone. I felt like I was being watched Orwell style. You know who Orwell is? That seems to shock Lucas more than what Constantine told me. Looks like Lucas is being honest about completely trusting in Kostia and Mine's judgment. It's a little heartwarming, if I'm being honest. A moment of levity in this dreary conversation. So there was a lot to unpack, unexplained things and motives that Kostia doesn't think is real, but there's no one else it could be, right? Only Helena was seen going into that room that came out of it. Unless some magical demon did it. Maybe it walked through walls, huh? It's a stupid joke, but Oscar looks to be trying to lighten the heavy atmosphere that's been growing. I just don't think she did it. I don't know what really happened, but I really don't. Did you find anything about it in the diary that you haven't shared yet? Kostia mentioned the divorce, right? Did you see anything about it? Not the divorce. I haven't really read it since we had that nightmare. Lee thought it was a good idea if I took a break, but I did notice a few strange things. When we were reading Lily, you pointed out that her father doesn't really seem to be in the picture. Maybe the divorce is because of it. If only we could know for sure. What she isn't saying is loud and clear. It's a silent question with a complicated answer. Will you read more of it? And I wasn't sure if it's a good idea, even if I can't get my mind off of it. But I'm suddenly reminded of the extra page that I found while I was in the nightmare. Maybe I could give it a read again. She might have written more about it. I don't think that's a good idea. That book has been fucking you up, and I prefer you stay away from it. But I'm sure it'll be fine, but I understand Lee's perspective. You've been having nightmares about it. Maybe it'd be best if someone else reads it. I prefer to be the one who reads it if that's okay. I really want to know what happens. Lee still looks disapproving of the idea, but he doesn't instantly shoot it down again. No one says anything at all, as all of us watch Lee as he's lost in thought. That is, until Lucas decides to step in. I'll read it with him, if that helps. Really? Don't act like it's so surprising. It's just a book, as if reading it alone makes you upset. Then I can read it with you. It's the least I could do. It sounds like a great idea. When I was reading it with Wallace in the library, he seemed to be just fine. It's probably just like a horror movie. Once again, all attention is on Lee now, because we all know if he's that determined to keep me from reading it, most of us will go along with it anyway. But I could feel the breath I didn't know I was holding release as Lee gives a sigh in defeat, with a smile returns to his face. I still don't think it's a good idea, but if Lucas is there, I know he'll keep you in check. Just make sure you don't overdo it, kid. It's not worth it. I'll take care of myself, I promise. I have been considering telling everyone about the nightmare I had last night, but it might be better if I keep things quiet about it for now. It would just worry Lee for no reason, though I can't deny something about that dream still feels wrong, and I can't place my finger on it. Maybe I'll bring it up to Lucas later. Though that reminds me that I really should tell the group about the mystery page I found in the nightmare. I read something else in the diary that might be relevant. Oh my gosh, what was it? The faux surprise in his voice is so dramatic I have to hold back a chuckle. He's not being very subtle in his attempt to lighten the mood, but it's hard to act like it isn't working. Even Lee looks to be amused by his antics, though he quickly hides his smile once our eyes meet. He's really trying to keep that facade up when it's obvious to everyone that he's been getting along better with Oscar lately. Oscar flashes me a wink, and it's too much as I nearly snort my nearly cold chocolate through my nose, leaving me coughing as Oscar thumps my back. Oh shit, sorry man, I didn't think it was that funny. It's okay, it just caught me by surprise. Anyway, I found another entry about Helena's mom. I don't know if I mentioned this, but most of the diary is actually formatted like a message to her mom. Apparently that's why she started writing it in the first place. Like a letter? Kind of. It's more like a make-believe conversation in real time. It's hard to explain. The two of them sound really close. Very close. When me and Wallace were reading it in the library, she would talk about her mom a lot, but she never mentions her dad at all. At all? Never. It's a little strange, to be honest. Maybe her dad is a piece of... Maybe your dad is a piece of shit. Not every dad is great. Oh, gotta quench that thirst, y'all. But he's her father. Of course she would love him. It's more likely that he's dead. But you heard Kostya talk about the divorce. That wouldn't really make sense if he was already dead, right? Wallace, you're getting off topic again. Sorry, anyway, I was reading this entry that talked about her mom, and it sounds like her mom was going through something pretty bad. Helena seems super worried and had all these plans to cheer her up. Plans that make it very strange for her to do all this. That's what I was thinking. But she doesn't go into detail about anything at all. Maybe it's about the divorce. Would a divorce cause something that bad? The way she was talking about her was as if she was catatonic. Catatonic? It's like when you're not responding to stuff, like you're sleeping but awake. And before you ask, I told you, it ain't that dumb. That makes Lee shut up and roll his eyes, though he doesn't play off his shock at Oscar's answer very well, much to everyone's amusement. Lucas is right. The way Helena wrote makes it seem like she was really worried about her mom. She wasn't answering her calls or responding to her at all. I don't think she was in a good place. How was Helena taking it? I'm not entirely sure. It was written to be consoling and how she'll cheer her up, so it's hard to tell how she was taking it. Everyone goes quiet as we process just what all this could mean. There's so many questions that we have to ponder, none of which have solid answers. But eventually Lily breaks the silence as she stands up, startling Lucas to the point that his fur starts bristling. Though that might have been the loud screeching of her chair's metal legs scraping against the concrete if his flattened ears are any indication. That's enough losing our minds for now. I think if we keep going like this, we're gonna pop a brain cell. There's nothing we can solve from this, so do you know what that means? We get to have some fun? Maybe go get some lunch? No, silly. It means we have to do some research. How? There's not much we can go off of unless we want to harass this poor mother about her daughter, and I ain't putting her through more shit. Well, we don't have to do that. We heard about strange stuff regarding the murder itself. Maybe we could ask around about that. No offense, Lily, my main girl, my homie, but I think that's not the greatest idea. Sounds like we heard everything there is to know, and I don't think people want to remember it. If anyone's gonna learn anything, it's Lucas and Wallace reading the diary. Unless you brought it today and wanted to give us a head start. I didn't. The later he starts, the better. The longer we wait, the better. Despite my conviction to read it, I'm on Lee's side a little bit. I wanted to look into it and help figure out what happened to Helena, especially after seeing how Kostya looked earlier. To say he looked distraught would be an understatement. This has been eating away at him. I can't just leave him with no answers. But I think a break might do me some good. I've clearly been having nightmares because of the contents, and the added stress is probably not doing so good. I just wish things were simple. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon or YouTube memberships if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!